What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on NIO stock.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed, born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And in today's video, first of all, I will show you where we are on the price chart and how we caught this movement to the upside that brought us about 16% of potential profit. Then I will continue with the fundamental news and I will show you why this asset has this type of price action. And at the end of this video, I will share my thoughts and my technical analysis. And I will show you what should we expect next. So let's start with the price chart. I made my previous video right here at this very point, and I've told you that you can start to accumulate your position with the tight stop loss of about 3%, slightly below this previous bottom, and we have very good chances to hit much higher targets. At least we might hit $10 mark at the first price target, and it was about 10% of potential profit. But on the best case scenario, we might hit even $11 mark, and it is the previous range of resistance that might brought us about 20% of potential profit. And I have to say that this call was successful, especially if we take a look on the price action in general. We had this massive movement to the downside, and I have to say that my technical analysis is quite accurate on NIO, because on a couple of videos ago I made another call for 10% from about $8.4 mark to this high. Then I made a call that we should have a bounce from the range of $8 mark, because it was the previous gap that the price action should fill. And from this range we are still in position, and we have about almost 30% of potential profit in a matter of just a couple of weeks. Definitely this asset is extremely technical, and I have to say that in my technical analysis I will show you what should we expect next. But for now, let's continue with the fundamental news. And first of all, let me show you this article that was published yesterday on the Monthly Fool, and that is titled "Why NIO stock got a boost today?" And the key points of this article are following. China may be backing off of its strict regulation of tech companies. NIO investors are hoping it could mean more growth in China. And we all know that recently Alibaba announced that it will restructure its business, and they will split this business for 6 different companies. And this shows that on the one hand, they will focus on the value for their shareholders, and on the other hand, it shows that Alibaba has some kind of agreement with Chinese Communist Party, because for Alibaba it was very harsh times from the end of 2020, when Chinese Communist Party started to block the IPO of Ant Group, and from this date Alibaba had very rough times. But right now, with this agreement, probably we might see the easing of Chinese crackdown policy for other companies, and that is why we have this news as a potential catalyst for NIO. But let me show you other news directly related to NIO as an auto manufacturer that might be the catalyst for its price action. And let me show you this article that was published on March 29th. NIO to start ET5 delivery in Germany on March 31st. March 31st is the official delivery date for NIO ET5 in Germany, and NIO is using it as an opportunity to launch its ET5 first mover marketing campaign. And let me quote you further. Previously, they promised that ET5 will be delivered to the first customers in Germany by the end of March. And this is extremely bullish news, because it is one of their latest models. It is based on NT 2.0 platform, and this leads to increasing number of sales, and definitely this will improve the fundamentals of the company. On top of that, let me show you that they opened a new studio in Frankfurt. And let me quote you this news. NIO opens new NIO house in Frankfurt, its second in Germany. NIO co-founder and president Qin Lin Hong was on site for the opening of the NIO house in Frankfurt. And definitely, right now, Germany is the biggest market for auto manufacturers, and it is the second biggest market right after Norway for the EV manufacturers. And that is why it is extremely important to open new studios in these countries in order to hold the biggest share, the biggest potential share of EV manufacturers on these markets. Definitely it will improve the fundamentals of NIO in the long-term perspective, but by itself this news is quite bullish in the short-term perspective. And definitely, in my opinion, because of this set of news, we have this very good movement to the upside of NIO. And I have to say that, in my opinion, it is not the end. But we have to keep in mind some details. So, and let's continue with the technical analysis, but before we dive deep right here, please subscribe to my channel, hit notification bell and hit the like button. This helps me a lot. So guys, first of all, let me show you how I identified this movement to the upside. Let's switch to daily time frame and let me show you what price action did we have back in the days in June of 2020, in July of 2020. As you can see, we had this massive gap from the range of about $8 mark all the way up to somewhere in between 10.45 and even $11 mark. And $11 is already the range of support right here. So, and from the technical standpoint, we should fill this gap, and this gap is already filled by this movement to the downside. Let me show you its latest price action. Right here we hit the $8 mark. It is a round number by itself, and it is the technical movement to complete the entire retracement from its swing high. Let me show you right here. From the highest point of $67.95 at the very end of 2020. And this retracement, in my opinion, has the completed structure, and in the greater scale we might consider this bottom or at the $8 mark as the lowest point for the price action basically from the beginning of July 2020. And this means from this range, if this asset breaks several of previous swing highs, definitely it will be a strong signal for investors, long-term holders, to add to their position. But first of all, let me show you the latest price action on an hourly time frame. And let me add the drawing tools. Right here, as you can see, I marked the $11 mark as the range of support and resistance. And definitely, if we take a look on indicators on hourly time frame and basically on multiple time frames, this asset is at overbought territory. This means we have to see the cool down, and in my opinion, this cool down might happen from the current range, or we might have small leg to the upside, not more than for about 5% to hit $11 mark, and then we will have this cool down. And where we might land in order to collect more power and in order to add to our long position. In my opinion, we shouldn't break the range of about $9.5 because at 9.54 we have for this previous swing high, and it also might act as a range of support / resistance. And if it happens, if it goes to the upside, or from this range if it goes lower, we can start to accumulate our position, but we have to put our stop loss slightly below this previous bottom. And it implies, depending on the entry price, about 8.5% of downside potential, but the upside potential is still quite high. We have to break these previous swing highs at the ranges of about $13 and about $14.3. And this means from this range we might have up to 32% in the medium term perspective, all the way up to almost 50% of potential profit. So definitely it is quite a lucrative setup, but keep in mind that the retracement might be deeper, and you shouldn't enter your position at this very point despite its potential movement to the upside. Definitely we should rely on the technical analysis on top of the fundamental analysis, and this means most likely we have to see the cool down in order to collect more steam to hit higher targets. So, I think from the technical standpoint that's it for now. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel with notification bell, and see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stay